Have you ever held a dollar bill in your hand and thought about its potential? That small piece of paper, which we often take for granted, has incredible power. It may not seem like much, but in the grand tapestry of life, even the smallest act of generosity can trigger a domino effect of hope and transformation. A single dollar can start a chain of events that change lives. We often underestimate the power of small acts of giving, but in God's eyes, what matters most is the heart. It's not the amount that counts, but the intention and love with which it is given. It's about the willingness to share what we have, no matter how little it may seem. Every small act of kindness can have a significant impact on someone else's life. We live in a world that often glorifies grand gestures and extravagant displays of wealth. But what about the small gestures that often go unnoticed? But the truth is that true generosity knows no bounds. It's not measured by the amount of money, but by the amount of love and compassion that is put into the act of giving. It's not about the amount, but the spirit with which it is given. A single dollar given with love can brighten someone's day and offer a spark of hope. When we give from a place of love and compassion, even a single dollar can become a beacon of hope for someone in need. That small act can be the beginning of something much bigger. The Bible is full of stories that illustrate this powerful truth. It teaches us that every act of generosity, no matter how small, has immense value. Stories that remind us that God values the intention behind our gifts more than the amount itself. It's the heart that counts. One such story found in the Gospel of Mark teaches us a profound lesson about the transformative power of even the smallest act of giving. The widow's offering, though small, was great in God's eyes. Jesus was sitting near the temple treasury, watching the crowd as they came to give their offerings. It was an ordinary day at the temple, and people approached with different attitudes and amounts to give. The rich gave large amounts, their coins clinking loudly as they fell into the offering box. Their offerings were generous, but they didn't cost them much, as they gave from their abundance. Then, a poor widow approached timidly, clutching 2 small copper coins in her hand. Her simple clothes and humble gait contrasted with the opulence of the rich. These 2 coins, called mites, were the smallest denomination of currency at that time, worth only a fraction of a penny. For many, these coins had almost no value. However, the widow, with a heart full of devotion, dropped her 2 coins into the offering box. This act, though small in appearance, was immense in meaning. She gave all she had, holding nothing back. Her sacrifice was total, a reflection of her faith and trust in God. Jesus, noticing her humble act of generosity, called his disciples and said to them, "Truly I tell you, this poor widow has put more into the treasury than all the others." Her offering, though small in amount, was great in spirit, for they all contributed out of their abundance, but she, out of her poverty, put in all she had to live on. Her act of giving was a true testament to her devotion and love. Mark 12:43-44. This story reminds us that the value of an offering is not measured by its amount, but by the heart with which it is given. I remember hearing a story about a young man struggling to survive. He was a young man who had lost everything, homeless and hopeless, wandering the streets looking for something, anything, that could give him some relief. He was homeless, hungry, and had lost all hope. Every day was a constant struggle, a battle to find food and shelter, and every night he wondered if things would ever get better. One day, as he was walking down the street, he saw a dollar bill lying on the ground. He couldn't believe his luck. It was as if the universe had given him a sign, a small spark of hope amidst his darkness. Overjoyed, he picked it up and immediately went to buy a piece of fruit, his first meal in days. That simple act of buying a piece of fruit gave him a sense of normalcy, something he hadn't felt in a long time. That dollar, which might have seemed insignificant to someone else, was a lifeline to him. It gave him the energy he needed to keep going, and more importantly, it gave him back a spark of hope. It gave him the sustenance he needed to keep going, and more importantly, it restored his faith in humanity. That small gesture, that tiny amount of money, had a profound impact on his life. This story is a powerful reminder that what may seem like a small amount to us can be a godsend to someone else. We never know how our actions might affect others. It's a testament to the fact that even the smallest act of kindness can have a ripple effect, touching lives in ways we may never fully understand. So the next time you see someone in need, remember that even a small gesture can make a big difference. God doesn't see the world as we do. He doesn't measure our worth by the size of our bank accounts or the value of our possessions. He looks at the heart. He sees the love, the compassion, and the willingness to share what we have, no matter how big or small. In the story of the widow and her 2 mites, Jesus wasn't impressed by the amount of money given, but by the heart behind the gift. The widow gave sacrificially, from her poverty, demonstrating a deep devotion and love that far exceeded the monetary value of her offering. This is the essence of true generosity. It's not about impressing others or seeking recognition. It's about following the promptings of our hearts and sharing what we have with those in need, whether it's $1, a kind word, or a helping hand. Answering the call. We all have a role to play in building a more compassionate and just world. We are called to be the hands and feet of Jesus, extending his love and grace to those around us. This call to action doesn't require immense wealth or extravagant gestures. It simply requires a willing heart and a desire to make a difference. The next time you come across a dollar bill, don't just see it as a piece of paper. See it as an opportunity to answer this call, to be a part of something bigger than yourself. See it as an opportunity to be a blessing to someone in need. Unlocking miracles. The beauty of giving is that it not only blesses the receiver, but it also transforms the giver. When we give freely and generously, we open ourselves to experiencing the miraculous. We tap into a source of joy and fulfillment that comes from knowing we are making a difference in the world. The power of $1 doesn't lie in its monetary value, but in its potential to unlock miracles. It's a reminder that we are all connected, that our actions have consequences, and that even the smallest act of kindness can ripple outwards and touch countless lives. Your dollar, his work. So the next time you hold a dollar bill in your hand, remember its power. Remember the widow and her 2 mites. Remember the young man who found hope in a single dollar. And remember that God values the heart behind the gift more than the amount itself. Let your generosity be a reflection of God's love for humanity. Let your giving be a testament to the transformative power of even the smallest act of kindness. Your dollar, combined with his work, can change the world, one heart at a time.